a year and a half later. Yes, I forgot to press record. Did you just press record? Chris,
thank you to the gods that maybe.
He sent me a message to say press record. I'm so sorry. Good evening, everybody. And welcome to Gift of Legacy. So as I was saying, you know, you come here because you want more and you want to choose more for your own life. And mostly the people that are drawn to our community also want to have an impact on the world around us. And so for those of you who, I'll start with just introducing Petra. So Petra, I invited Petra to come in. When I joined, she said to me, that's great. It sounds great. Let me know how it goes. And then kind of like 2 weeks in, when I was on the silver board as a legend, receiving gifts, and I messaged her from the spa on a Sunday afternoon to go, all these people are sending me $400. She was like, get me in. And now, you know, down the line, we've really seen the benefit of, well, we've reaped the fruits of being part of this community. Not as special, you know, in any special way as kind of presenters or in, you know, leadership or anything like that. Just being a part of this community, part of gifting and receiving. So for those of you who don't know my friend Petra, she's the pie to my pudding, if you hear us slipping that language in. And we have come a long way together. I like to say that I got to know her when she got me naked. And that was literally, we were doing a campaign called In Our Skins, or in their skins. In Our Skins. I always get them confused. In Our Skins, where we were raising awareness to get blankets for pets during winter. And so she got a whole bunch of celebs to strip off, wear doggy blankets, or you know, hold a pet. And that's where our friendship really started. And it started with wanting to have impact in this world. And so our journey has brought us here, where neither of us can believe the amazing adventures that we've been able to go on together. In fact, we've even hashtagged that, the adventures of pudding and pie. And so, you know, part of our drive is to have as much fun as we can along the way, to be kind and ethical in everything that we do. Integrity is incredibly important to us. Petra is the author of a book called Living on Purpose. She is a keynote speaker and has impacted lives and of humans and animals. That's like, as long as I've known her, I've watched her doing that, and continues to do that. She's also an Access Bars practitioner and so many more things. Those are the linear things. Above all of that, she's my bestie and I freaking love her, and I'm so honored to be presenting with her tonight. Something that we can honestly say has had an impact on our lives, and the ripple effect has been on the lives of those around us. So
absolutely. Thanks, my pudding. Thank you. Yeah, so it's 100% because of Ange that I'm here. And when Ange first introduced me, I had this moment of, what is my level-headed friend getting into? What is this? And of course, I know Jared as well. So he was one of our celebs and influencers in the campaign. So when she said, look, I've got something to tell you, and Jared invited me, so straight away I was like, oh, Lordy, she's getting involved in some pyramid scheme or some multi-level marketing thing, and she's trying to rope me in. I was like, fine, I'll watch it. And
ye of little faith.
Ye of little faith. And thank God for you just nagging. And at first also, when Ange spoke to me, it was to look at, you know, us having another platform for fundraising for our charity. And it was, you know, because of the hustle. So I was at a point, because I'd lost all my clients when COVID hit. Every single corporate client in the personal development space, budgets were gone. So I'd lost all of that. Fundraising was becoming harder, and the hustle was just exhausting. So for me, it was a combination of knowing that I needed to put my own oxygen mask on first, as well as find something that could generate income for all the work that we wanted to do and increase our impact in South Africa and globally. So eventually it started making sense. And when Ange actually saw, you know, that this wasn't something dodgy, that it was completely legit, and the people that were involved, and obviously now has expanded even more, are above board and ethical, and also have hearts for wanting to make a difference, then it became a no-brainer. And this is why we can both speak about it openly, because we don't have an agenda. We don't benefit from being here. We don't, every time someone clicks join the Zoom, we don't get like an extra $1 in the bank account or whatever, if anyone joins. So we're just here because, we know how much this can help and how this can change so much for so many of us. So if this is your first time, and if it's not, even if you're watching the recording, welcome. There are no expectations. You do not have to say yes now. You do not have to click join. All that we ask is that you sit back and relax and keep an open mind, because I was skeptical at first as well. And I questioned everything. And that is the best thing that you can do, is question. But honor the person that invited you. I went back to Ange and I kept asking her questions because I was skeptical. So do that. And the more you do that, the more confidence you can have that when you do join the community, you have full confidence in what we stand for, what we believe in, and the impact that we want to create in the world. So you are here by invitation only. We're very selective in who we want to bring into our space. I'm not sharing it on social media for every scam artist to click join, not how it works. So if you are here, you are invited by someone that wants you to journey with them here. So welcome to Gift of Legacy. Quick disclaimer is that this presentation is for information sharing only and is not to be construed as financial advice. Neither Ange nor myself nor Gift of Legacy are registered financial or tax advisors. So the information given here is intended to give you examples of what you can expect from your journey. Alrighty, so Gift of Legacy is a gifting activity. I also hadn't heard about gifting before, so don't worry, you're in good company. And we're supported by a unique algorithm that drives the sustainable movement of gifts between individuals globally. A new economic paradigm is replacing outdated traditional structures that no longer serve society. We know this to be true. And it's time to join together to thrive and not merely survive. Instead of the 1 or 2% that are thriving in these old traditional structures, corporates and governments, the pyramid where there's the president, the CEO, the whatever. They're making all the money and everyone at the bottom is hustling just to survive. We're flipping that around and we're making sure that everyone gifts and receives equally. Cool. So who is this for? I'd like to say that it's for everyone, but it's not. There's a group of us, a huge group of us worldwide, that believe in the principle of sowing and reaping, that if you give, you'll naturally receive. That if you bless others that you don't even know, the rewards that you get for yourself and the opportunity to make a difference in someone else's life is just, you can't put a number on that, because you naturally probably enjoy helping others succeed. You've always done that in your life, whether you cheer them on, you uplift them, you share, you give, whatever that looks like for you. If you're that natural person that enjoys blessing others, then this is probably for you. And the big thing, like it was for me, is that maybe it's time to take control of your own life. So it's not an either or. It's not either I help them or I help myself. It's, well, while I'm helping others, I can help myself and vice versa. So that's the beauty for me of Gift of Legacy. So if this resonates with you, you're in the right place. Cool. So what is a global gifting community? So there are no limitations of borders. And we have members in over 107 countries and growing. So we're uplifting communities and ourselves while we're creating abundance and encouraging self-development. And by self-development, don't worry, you don't need to sit with the book and learn and attend seminars. That's not what we mean. Self-development really is about stretching your mind and expanding and learning new skills, things that I'd never learned before, like online platforms, etc., which has helped me so much just evolve as a human and my capacities. Sacred economics, I love this term. Also had never heard it before, but it's really talking about gifting. And we know that gifting has been used around the world for centuries. And modern culture dates back to the 1960s. And in Africa, we refer to it as the Ubuntu culture, which is really just communities helping each other. And it's always been and is 100% legal. It's just been off the mainstream for decades. Banks don't exactly like all this gifting stuff because they can't make interest. Anyway, we're blessing millions by giving hope, education, and abundance globally. So giving people hope again in their lives that maybe there is another possibility. Maybe there is something that I can do beyond just my job or beyond just this or that. This is something else. And redistributing wealth into the hands of many, not just the 1 or 2% on the top. To date, more than, please look at this number, and I think it's on 50 odd million by now, but more than, to be safe, 40 million US dollars. So if you're sitting in South Africa, just multiply that by 15, has already been gifted among GL members. You'll see on our next platform, this is directly to GL members. So this is what we've all collectively received and given to each other. Decentralized is what makes me feel safe, because it means that that we are not a company, an institution, a broker, or a trader. What GL is as a platform, an online platform, is just an interactive website that connects all of us, so that it moves the movement of the boards. And we'll let you know what a board is or explain it further, but that's all it is. So no money goes into a platform, like we've heard of many, that people put money into platform bombs out and someone leaves with all the money and who knows where. So this isn't this. All you need to be part of it, but stay tuned for the next slide. All you need is a computer, smartphone, and internet connection, WhatsApp and Telegram, because that's how we communicate with each other. That's how I'll send you a WhatsApp or an email saying, hey, where can I gift you your beautiful gift? So this is what we need. So this is what I meant with stay for the next slide, peer-to-peer. So if we're not a company, an institution, or broker, how does this work? Well, it works one-to-one between you and me, or the person on the slide next to you. So the gifts get paid or given, or whatever term you want to use, directly, 100% directly to you. There's no third party controlling the money. So it's literally, if the algorithm says, I need to gift Ange, I send her a message saying, Pudding, where can I gift you? And then she'll decide where she would like the gift to go. Clapping her hands in advance. So really exciting. So it's not like we have to go via something. That's the really fun part. So you get to meet the person that you're blessing. Yes. Perpetual, which we love, is that it's ongoing, non-stop, and passive. So as long as you stay within the community, you can gift and receive sustainably and frequently for all eternity, or in other words, for generations to come. So it's something that you can bequeath to someone else, leave it in your will, so that even after you're no longer walking on this planet together, you're still blessing others into abundance. So how's that for a legacy of impact? That's really, really cool. So you're blessing people now and going forward. So I'm sure that you're picking up that Gift of Legacy is more than just a gifting activity. We're helping each other grow and succeed while supporting each other. So all we're doing is gifting from the heart, like I would if it was your birthday or a religious holiday, just to spoil you and treat you. And then I share the love with the people that I care about because I want them to get gifted as well. And then building my team, Ange will go through that with you. You become the legend, which is when you start receiving. And then that is when you build your legacy. We're a community with the same vision, and that we truly want to change lives. So I really hope that you're going to join us and play.
Yes, thank you, Mapai. Thank you for unpacking that a little for us. And, you know, as you were talking us through that, I kind of had to keep reminding myself that how long we've been together as a community. Tim was saying last night on the call that he's been around these for a very long time. And usually, well, not these, he's been around so-called gifting or, you know, kind of things, that programs that people have put together. And very seldom do they last beyond 2-3 months. And at our 6-month mark, this community has grown from 7,000 odd people. I think it was 7,600 or whatever. 7,900 6 months ago, to 500,000 people, 500,000 people to date. And there's no stopping us at all. In fact, our algorithm is just getting stronger and stronger. how, you know, our core team are constantly tweaking and making sure that everything is working so that we can be sustainable, that we can, as P said, bequeath this to our families and to those once we are no longer here. So I'm going to take you through the boards, and I'll unpack the first one in a little bit of detail, because that's kind of where, you know, all of the start, it's like your starting block. And after that, it pretty much runs the same. So we're going to represent you with the big yellow thing that says you. We're making it as easy as possible, because if you're hearing this for the first time, you know, I forget now how complicated my brain made it. It's not, it is so simple. As Petra's saying, it literally is denominations of money that we gift to each other. And I'm just going to show you the mechanism that we use, but there's nothing more beyond it. There's no commissions that are getting paid anywhere. There's no additional anything. So just keep it simple. So,
it is what it is.
It is what it is, yes. I'll show you how you join the board and you gift your legend $100. That's a big thing to hear. $100. We all enter with in the same way. $100. Nothing more, nothing less, unless, you know, I mean, there've been exceptions, but that's what you need, $100 to join our community. Once you share Gift of Legacy with like-minded, like-hearted people, you're going to help them to do the same. And we're going to take a look at the journey through the boards. There are those 4 denominations, 4 boards, a $100 board, a $400, a $1,600, and a $5,000 board. You're going to look at your roles as you move from gift to builder, guide to legend. And you'll see why we get so excited about that legend position, and how you're going to receive gifts on your first cycle, and then how you're going to get more gifts on your second cycle. And you can see those numbers there. And I think before I get too excited about them, let me show you how we get to these numbers. So we're looking at like a 501% return on your $100. So let's have a look. Let's get started if you are ready. So, as I said, you enter Gift of Legacy by gifting $100 to the legend on the board. And you can see on this little picture, there's the legend in the center, and you're the gifter. And I'm going to show you this on the next board. This is the one and only time you will ever take money out of your own pocket. There is no other catch to it. You're not paying a platform fee. There's no middleman, as Petra was saying. As she was saying, it's not a business that pays you out at the end of the month. Once off, you take $100, you gift that into someone else's life, another human being into their life, and then the rest happens after that. And as you progress through the boards, you can use some of the gifts that you receive to do that. So let's have a look at how that happens. But first, again, just to remind you, gifting is purely peer-to-peer, person to person. And as Petra said, 100% of all the gifts are sent directly to the legend on the board. And we use various mechanisms, airtime, PayPal, World Remit, Revolut, bank transfers, crypto. There's a whole bunch that we're exploring. We're always finding something else. And my personal favorite, and when Petra phones me to tell me that she's going to gift me $5,000, you're going to be meeting me at Seattle, buying me a malted carob steamer with unsweetened almond grande, please, and handing me a little bag or a suitcase $5,000 notes. I can't wait.
Craig, my bodyguard, standing next to me. And how much fun. We can do money angels.
There we go, money angels.
And just do money angel.
So it doesn't matter how you get your gift to your legend. That will be between the two of you, because this is purely peer-to-peer. And that's something that we just love so much. There's no middleman or third party involved ever. It doesn't have to be. We know that there have been exceptions where people have been invited to Gift of Legacy through different groups and other things, and we're not going to get into that tonight. This is how it runs at its very heart and at its very core. So this is a bronze board. As we said, you enter with $100, and this is where you cut your teeth on the bronze board. And when you exit this board as the legend, you're going to exit having received $800 US. So let's have a look at what this looks like. So for those of you who are new, this is going to be easy enough. For those of you who have been watching a few times, you're going to see a little bit of changes here, because one of the beautiful things is that, previously when we started, we had to fill the whole board before you could advance. And right now, you only need to fill gifters on one of the hemispheres. So just keep that in the back of your mind as you see these slides are changed a little bit. So when you join, this is board 1. You join this board as a gifter. As we said, there you are. You're gifting the legend on the board, $100. And at the same time, there will be 3 other people that are going to join your hemisphere. You'll see there's a right hemisphere and left hemisphere. And once this hemisphere is full, the legend on the board is able to actually, they will have received $400. Now, they can either, if they need to, spend that money and wait for the rest of their board to fill up, or they can use that $400 to fast track and join the next board already. So again, you're immediately using gifts that you're receiving and you're able to fast track to the next level. If you don't want to do that, you can just stay there where you are, use your $100 because it's your money. So it's your gifts. You can do with them as you wish. And then you can wait for the rest of the board to fill with gifters. And then this board will spin off for you. But please just note, this is the new bit that's come into being, and it's fantastic. It just means that the boards are moving with more pace, and you don't have to wait for the whole board to fill up if your hemisphere is full. As soon as one hemisphere is full, the side of the board's going to split off. So the gifter's going to have received, the legend's going to have received $800. The board's going to split, and then you will see you will move up one position to the builder position. So now this is your second board. You're a builder now, and what's going to happen is you're going to build. So you're going to bring in 2 invitees. We highly, highly recommend that those invitees are like-minded, like-hearted, that they're real people, that it's not your dog or your cat or your newborn or whatever it might be, just so that you can fill a spot. Because if you do that, you're still going to have to find 2 people for them. So you're actually doubling your work. Really find 2 people that you'd like to go on a journey with, that you like to hang out with, because you're busy building a legacy together. So anyone that you would entrust starting a business with, going on an adventure with, doing survivor with, pick those people and build with them. And the other builders on the board are going to do the same thing. Pardon me. And that's going to happen across the board. And the legend on this board is, again, they're going to have received $800. The board's going to split off, and you'll see that you now will move into the guide position. I love being guide because there's that promise of being legend next. It's always so much fun. So you'll see you've gone to guide, and your 2 gifters have moved into the builder positions. So that you were there, they were in position 1 and 2. Now as the board is split and you're on your 3rd board, they are going to still be beneath you as the builders in position A and position B, as A and B in position 1 and position 2. And now it's their turn. You're going to help them to bring in their 2 people. Just keep your eye on these A, B, C, Ds, because it shows you how the boards split off. So your 1 builder is going to bring in position C and D, and the next builder is going to bring in E and F. And again, just to note that when either hemisphere is full, the guides will split off and become legends on their own board. So you'll see now on your side, you're a guide. Your side fills up with 4 gifters. That board's going to split and you will become a legend, even if the other side of the board isn't ready to split off yet. Okay, because the board itself, the original board, will only split off after it has 8 gifters. I know that sounds confusing, but all you need to know is when you're a guide, you've got your 4 gifters, that board's going to split off, and now you're going to be the legend. And then look what happens to your inviters. There they are in position A and position B, because they then become the guides. The people they brought in have moved to the builder positions on both sides of this new board, your legend board. It's your 4th board, and they are going to build again. So that's all it takes. 3 spins to get to your 4th board, and that's where your legend and you're receiving. And that can happen in a day. It can happen in 6 months. It just depends on how you are working together as a team on your board to build and to get your gifters in. So once you are now in the legend position, even if the board splits off on one side, you will only split this board off. You will only be able to move up to the next level once all 8 gifters are in on your boards. So here's what happens, which is actually an amazing feature that our developers have put in place. If once you have spun your board 4 off, because your board is full, but your original board, the board that you joined on originally, still has one hemisphere that isn't full. This is the amazing, amazing part. Once you spin off, you will go back to your original board and you will land on one of those open gifted positions to help that board to close off, to help everyone to move. You're going back to help. You're not leaving anyone behind. And that'll ensure that continuous flow of the board. So you have moved into your perpetual cycle, which means you can now just continually enter, gift and receive and gift and receive. Even though this was your original board, you are in your perpetual cycle back helping your original board. How does it get better than that? All right. So that's how it works on the bronze boards. And when we said it was only the once off that you use your own $100 to advance, here's how you will see why. It's because once you've got all your $800 of gifts, you hold back $400 to move to the silver board if you didn't decide to fast track, which we'll talk about later. And then you're also going to keep $100 to enter that perpetual bronze cycle, as I've just showed you, going back potentially to help your board. Or if your board is full and it's spun off, you will land somewhere else where you are required. And so on your first time through the boards, you will keep gifts in your pocket of $300 because you're using some of your gifts to advance yourself. Now, the joy is that once you're in the perpetual cycle, you don't have to advance yourself anymore because by nature, you've gone to perpetual because you're ready to move up. Your board is spun. So you've used $400, you're on the silver board now. Every time you move through that $100 board, you are perpetual, and so therefore you will always keep $700 instead of $300. And that is so lovely. It's always so much fun when you're on perpetual cycle because you're like, oh, yay, you just got to keep one gift. How does it get better than that? One gift. It's like tithing. It's like just that one little gift to re-enter and to keep this whole community going. And so that can just keep us going over and over and over and over again to infinity and beyond. Okay, so now let's look at the silver board. So you've entered with 400, and I'm going to move through this because it's the same structure now all the way. You enter with $400. This time, your 8 gifters are going to give you gifts to the value of $3,200. What do you do with those gifts? Well, you're going to hold back 1,600 of them to move to the gold board. We love ourselves a gold board. Those gifts are so much fun. And you're also going to, again, keep 400 to enter the perpetual silver cycle, which means on your first round through, you will keep gifts in your pocket of $1,200. And again, perpetual cycle. Once you're already placed on the gold board, every time you go through the silver perpetual, because you don't need to use 1/6 to advance yourself again, you will keep $2,800 every single time. And it is wonderful. I can tell you, Petra will be nodding. Yes, she's nodding. It's just so, so lovely. Such a breath of fresh air to be able to have those gifts and to keep them to do with what you wish. So same thing on the gold board. You've entered with your $1,600 and you will exit with gifts to the value of $12,800. Oh my gosh, what would you do with $12,800? I mean, the US dollar it means something everywhere in the world. 12,800 USD, even in the States, is worth something. What would you do times that? I don't think it's 15. It's more than that now, isn't it, at the moment, the US dollar to the rand? But that's a good chunk of money. There's a lot of things that I, enjoy doing with $12,800. So here's what we recommend, though. When you get your gifts, hold back 5,000 to move to the platinum board. You want to be on that platinum board. It is yummy. And you're going to hold back 1,600 on your first round to enter and to be able to access the perpetual cycle. So on that first round, you're going to keep $6,200 US. This is on your gold board, $6,200. But every single time you cycle through a perpetual cycle on gold, you will keep $11,200 over and over and over again. Absolutely amazing. So platinum board, you've entered with 5,000, you exit with 40,000, but because it's our last board, there's nowhere else to go. So every single time you will keep 35,000 US dollars. You're just going to use one gift every time to re-enter. I mean, what would you do with 35,000 US dollars? The amount of people that you could actually bless into Gift of Legacy, gift them in, and just the fun things that you can do with 35,000 US dollars. Pull out your calculators and see what that looks like in your world. And all that we ask is you re-enter with one gift to keep it going. I mean, that's amazing. So let's cover these perpetual cycles again. As we said on the bronze, on the platinum board, 35,000 every single time. And in summary, first cycle through the boards, you entered with $100. You're going to leave the first cycle, because you've used some of your gifts to advance yourself, with 42,700 US dollars. But once you move into those perpetual cycles, every time you cycle through all four boards, you're going to be keeping 49,700 US dollars. That's almost 50,000 US dollars. That is a lot of rands for South Africans. That's just the context that we can speak in. And remember, you put in $100 to begin with. That is, the risk is, it's not even a risk, because you gifted someone $100 and that's it. And this is what you get in return. Look, I have to pinch myself because we've experienced this. It's not like something that we're saying this could potentially happen. Like, this is happening to people in the community every day. So let's go through some activity guidelines. P, would you like to pick these up? And
awesome. Thanks for that, my pudding. Now, if this is your first time watching this, listening to this, or even if it's your second or third, please don't worry if it doesn't make sense. It's a lot. It's a lot of information. So all you need to know is that for now, is that you gift $100 to the legend on the board. Who's your legend? Well, when you register, the algorithm will let you know who it is. So again, you're not paying money to the platform. You are just blessing someone with $100. And then the other prerequisite is that you invite two like-minded people to join you on this journey. So as Ange said, as much as I love my girls, which are my dogs, starting profiles for them and expecting them to bring two like-minded, like-hearted humans to do the same is not going to work. Neither is it going to work if it was my granny's 94th birthday yesterday. Also not going to work if I invite Granny, because she's not going to bring two people as well. So please make sure that, we're not here to fill spaces. Do this for yourself and for those around you. Get those people that are going to play along with you, that are going to be committed to play along with you. And that's what it is. You're helping them do the same thing. Let them ask you all the gazillion questions like I asked Ange, so that it keeps going. Aren't you happy?
It was worth it.
It was well worth it. # hindsight. Yeah. So once you've completed your first cycle, so talking now about the perpetuals, and again, if you haven't wrapped your mind around it yet, it's okay. The first cycle is what's really important for you to know right now. Once you get your perpetual, once you have completed your first cycle, you'll be auto joined to enter the higher board first. Once you've been confirmed there as a gifter, so in other words, you've completed your bronze $100 board, you'll be auto joined to your silver board. Once you've gifted the legend on your silver board, you'll be auto joined onto another bronze board, which is then your perpetual, which is then, like Ange said, you're only tithing or gifting one gift of those, which is so much fun. And please get into the habit of gifting the legend within 24 hours of joining the new board. I've made it it's just something for me. As soon as I join, I literally contact the legend, and if they're awake, so I don't wait for their time zone, I contact them immediately. That's the whole point. Contact them. So when it has been someone in the same time zone as me, I can proudly say that I've gifted within 3 minutes. If they've got their details on hand, I do the gift and it's done. Because that's what I want to do. I don't want people saying, well, here's your prezi, but you can't open it yet. You've got to wait. Give me my present already. And my birthday is 2 weeks' time. Thank you, just saying. So Perpetual Positions ensures the integrity and sustainability of Gift of Legacy. This is why we're here, so that we can keep the momentum and keep the gifting and receiving perpetually and sustainably. Important that you cannot advance from the bronze board without inviting your 2 confirmed gifters that are going to do the same and replicate the system.
Yes.
So why Gift of Legacy? What makes us unique? User-friendly. So the platform's beautiful. It's so user-friendly, and there are constant updates and developments. So that's really exciting as well. So we're not just sitting and saying, oh, well, that didn't work. Alas, there's constant developments, which is all being funded by the trust, which is GGM. So a non-profit trust foundation. Fail-safe system, board splitting assists in leaving nobody behind, thanks to our Perpetual Cycles. If you don't remember what I'm talking about, rewatch the presentation, and Ange explains it beautifully. There's an innovative algorithm. So this groundbreaking algorithm takes care of the new participants while rewarding the existing participants. You'll experience that once you're in it. And then cross-pollination, which I love. Your first cycle and perpetual boards connect you to the global gifting pool. So you'll be meeting people, or I have at least, gifted people in Peru, being gifted from people from the States. It's loads of fun. That said, with the global gifting community, or with our community, we're different cultures, different ways of being, different ways of communicating. Lots of things can get lost in translation when you're using Google Translate or DeepL. So all that we ask is that, don't jump to conclusions, just have a little bit of compassion, just as if, Gift of Legacy is in English, lucky for us. If it was in another language, can you imagine trying to communicate there? So let's be gentle. Not limited to 2 invitees, although we only ask for 2 invitees. But of course, you can invite so many more, as long as they're going to do the same. Cool. So there's no limit to the amount of people that you can invite. There's the beautiful volunteer community support team on giftoflegacy.com. But before you reach out to them, if you're stuck with anything, please check out the academy, which is on your profile, because probably 99% of the time the answer is there. And if it's not there, there are Telegram groups that you can hop onto, and the information is there. Okay, fast track, Ange mentioned it, but we're going to go to the next one as well. Fast tracking and board splitting, all these wonderful multiple strategies to help you advance. So what fast tracking is, as Ange said, if you've received your first, there's someone drawing on the screen. If we can ask you to please not draw on the screen.
Myself.
Thank you. So if you have an extra $400 lying around, or if it's because you've received your first $400, for example, and you're on your bronze board, you can advance yourself to the silver board because it unlocks for you. And you don't need any more than 2 people. Remember, only $100 from your pocket and 2 people. Same happens for the gold board, the $1,600 board. Once you've gifted onto the silver, you're receiving silver, you've had your 2 confirmed invitees, your gold board unlocks, and then same for the $5,000 platinum board if you happen to have those gifts lying around. Or if you've received your first, 4.5 gifts on your $1,600 board, advance yourself as quickly as possible. We know sometimes, you might need the money, but make sure that you put it aside. Tim always refers to it as be a custodian of it. Put it aside so you don't get to that point like, I don't have $1,600 or whatever. So this is up to you. So have fun and keep it safe so you can keep on gifting and receiving.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and just to follow P, you mentioned this a little bit earlier, but we really do say, please, no promoting on social media is permitted. There's you only require 2 invitees. You can look through your entire phone list where there's a couple of hundred people. I don't know what the number was, like 500 people. 3
to 400 people
in your phone book, and see who might be able to be benefiting from this. There are great strategies, of course, to use if you want to grow a huge big group, of how you can put teasers into media, but please don't mention Gift of Legacy on social media. We really want to protect our community from people who are not like-minded and like-hearted. We've spoken about not filling spaces. You really want to choose people. Your first two invitees are really important. They are the ones that are going to help you to move beautifully through the system, and the same for them. They must choose their first two. After that, you're welcome to be a bit more free-flowing, but choose them well. You're busy building your legacy. Pick people that you want to do that with. Be the messenger, not the message. That just basically means when you first start out, very often you're still getting your own head around it. So come onto a Zoom, allow us to do that for you. And if you're not so comfortable with the big Zoom calls, get hold of one of us or your inviter and set up a smaller call before you bring anyone to the bigger calls, but let us help you with that. It's really important to attend regular live presentations, as we see everyone on tonight. Our community is amazing about showing up. If you can't get to them, watch the recordings on YouTube. But like a fire, if you take a log of wood out of a burning fire and you put it on the side, it will grow cold. That's just what happens. And the same happens for those of us in the community. If I've been away on business for a little bit of time and haven't been able to tap in, it's moving so quickly. Things are changing and developing and growing. And the last time I checked, there were 300 and something thousand. And then yesterday, there were 500,000 people. Like, how does it even happen? So you really want to stay close to the hotspot. And of course, some of you might not resonate with myself and Petra, but come to another presentation and hear that same messaging by other presenters who've got different angles, and you'll learn more from them as well. So there's extensive training available, as we've covered. Regan, who's our brother from another mother, who's been away for a while, he always says, trained always beats untrained. He's a military man, but that word holds true for everywhere in life. And it really is about participating in your own rescue. Yes, there's no guarantees. I mean, if you go to the gym, or if you sign up at the gym because you want to get a six-pack, but you never do a crunchy, you're never going to see that six-pack. So it really does depend, the success or failure depends on your willingness to participate and follow the guidelines of Gift of Legacy. That's really important. It's been laid out and built to work in a certain way. So look at what our core team have given to us. Have a look what the presentation says and just do it. It's so simple. Get $100. Bring two people who are like-minded, like-hearted, who are going to help you on your journey and help them to do the same. It's as simple as that. Also, please, it remains your individual responsibility to ensure compliance with the tax laws in your country. And then just to reiterate, decentralized platform, there's no third-party affiliation, ownership, or partnership. If you're joining Gift of Legacy by a third party or part of a package, you do so at your own risk. It is 100% peer-to-peer. No funds ever get gifted to the platform, and you only ever give to Legend after you've been placed on their board. So if there is someone saying, join Gift of Legacy, it's going to cost you $150. Well, I'm not sure what they're doing. It's $100. Once you join, the system will tell you who the legend is on the board and who you will gift them. Anything outside of that. And there are some really heartfelt, great groups running. But as long as they're sticking to this principle, you're safe to help them as they grow a strategy. But we cannot be held responsible for any other affiliation or ownership or partnership. P, would you like to talk about Love Heart in a few minutes?
Yes. So Love Heart is so beautiful. And, even in our precursor and at the beginning, for all of us here, because we are used to being givers and helping, and we want to help, it's almost like a compulsion that we want to help others. I know I've got myself doing so much extra work because I wanted to help. So I'd create positions for all these charities and individuals that I wanted to help. And then they would do nothing. They wouldn't bring their like-hearted, like-minded people. So it would be on me. So I'd end up having to keep, inviting and nurturing their people, as opposed to putting my own oxygen mask on. So Love Heart positions is so beautiful. If you're an active participant in Gift of Legacy and you have your two, so here's a little bit of extra motivation for you to get your two like-hearted, like-minded people to join you, then you can nominate a cause or something that's close to your heart. So whether it's a church, caregiver, soup kitchen, there's a few missionary groups that are under my team, my invitees. Animal welfare organizations, of course. I've nominated quite a few. Orphanages, rehabs, or even your domestic or your gardener. Perhaps you want to bless them, but you know that they're probably not going to be able to bring people onto the Zooms, or whatever the capacities are. Maybe they're not from South Africa. This is what you can do. So nominate them, go onto ggmovement.com/loveheart. Of course, they'll be vetted to make sure that they're legit and it's not a scammer trying to, create all these other positions. So you will be vetted, or your nomination will be vetted, but at least you can sponsor someone into abundance. And you won't need to find another 2 invitees. So all you're doing is sponsoring the position without the need of inviting another 2. Of course, you can still keep inviting, but you can build them under your own. So this is really, really, really exciting. And then also, what's really great is also check out ggmovement.com/donate. As we said, because this isn't, and you'll have heard by now, because it isn't a business or a platform, there's no registration fee. So how do we do all this maintenance? How do we pay for updates and security and? Well, it's 100% donation based. So if you want, check out ggmovement.org/donate. If everyone donates just $1 eventually, and there's 500,000 participants, I mean, this could really change so much. So between Love Heart and GGM, I mean, we can change. We can, or not, maybe not change, but we can elevate the lives of so many humans, animals, and our planet. So please check those out. Take a screenshot, and then you can play.
Yes, and just if you need those addresses, they are in. Once you've joined, they are in the system, like they're in your back. Office. And also, just again, as we said last night, GGM, the development team, it costs a lot to develop this program, and GGM has been paying for that. And very often, as something is starting out, if there hasn't been money, our tree trunk is our trunk. The person keeping it together, Hercules, he's pulled that money out of his own pocket. This program is by the people, for the people. And so if you can, you're getting your $35,000 and you want to chuck in $100, it will go a far way. So that will be amazing. Thank you very much. There are Zooms all through the week. You can see them Mondays, and we've got Motivation Mondays, Tuesdays and Thursdays. We have our presentation. It's orientation workshops. Tomorrow there's unpacking GL. There's all kinds of everything that you need to make this successful for yourself. Join the Telegram groups where you can get all the information, and particularly the testimonial group where you can hear from the community and how their lives have been impacted by Gift of Legacy. So there's a whole lot more. We can talk about community and how giving your sacred yes really does change your life in so many ways, but we've given you a lot of information tonight. So I just want to say from my side and from P, thank you so much for joining us. For those of you who have been on here every night this week, thank you so much for showing up again. And we will see you tomorrow night for some unpacking, some more getting into the nitty gritty of the new developments and changes that are happening.
Amazing. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, my pudding. Always so lovely playing with you. And thank you to everyone that has either joined us live or is going to watch the recording. And to anyone that's considering playing with us, go back to whoever invited you and ask them questions. Grill them if you have to. And if they don't have the answers, they can ask whoever invited them. But don't sabotage yourself by deciding up front that that this is a XYZ. I did the same. Well, I asked the same. I was suspicious, but I asked the question. So do yourself a favor and do those in your life that you want to bless into abundance. Do them a favor and go back to your inviter.
Yes, and come and see what grand and glorious adventures that we can all have together. What else is possible for us all, community? Lots of love, everyone. Thank you for being here. Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.